Welcome back to West Texas View.
Our guest today is Wenda Christopher. She's the Dean of Students of Hillcrest School, which is a nonprofit private school for students with learning differences. It's a very small school, but it's been in existence for 22 years. And Wenda, you were giving us a little bit of the history before, and one of the things that really impressed me was that Betty Starnes started the school 22 years ago because in her experience in working with children, she had a real heart for the special needs child. And then, lo and behold, after she had established the school, she had a special needs child herself. And so it really shows that she didn't do it for selfish reasons. She did it, but then her own child was able to take advantage of that. And so I wanted us to go back and kind of fill in some gaps of questions I've got. Now, if I'm understanding correctly, you've got about 9 teachers.
Yes, ma'am.
And then and those are divided between the 69 students, so that means that each teacher is dealing with approximately 7 students. And this group of teachers have about 130 years of teaching experience among them. Is that correct?
That's correct. We have some retired teachers from the public schools who have come over and have taught up to 10 years in our school. So we have master teachers in math, in history, in science, in reading. We're able to meet the needs of students with dyslexia and ADHD. We have some students who are on the spectrum of autism. So when we're talking about students with learning differences, we're talking about students basically with dyslexia, ADHD, and then some with autism and Asperger's.
Okay. But before we leave there, I want us to talk about the age range of your students.
We are a K through 12 school.
So
Our
about
students start at the age of 5 in kindergarten and go up to 18 or 19 when they graduate from high school. And it's a very nurturing environment. The big kids take care of the little kids, and we have a lot of siblings. It's very family oriented, and when we give tours to parents, they're always in awe at what a harmonious atmosphere our school has. Almost like we had to pay the students to act perfectly, but they're just all happy. So they walk through the building and they can feel the happiness in the
But
school.
one of the stories I've heard, and I don't remember if you or Betty or someone else told me this, is that when you have a family visit to see if they would be interested in sending their child to school there, often the children say, "Wow, this is a neat place. Wow."
Yeah. We had a boy yesterday come tour for the first time, and I think he's going to start next year. And he was like, "This is amazing. This is incredible. This is unbelievable." And he was just talking about the normal, the building, the facility, that we had an air hockey machine. He was just really excited. And we've had other students come visit on a Friday, and they don't want the weekend to pass. They're ready to be at school on Monday. And this new student tomorrow, he didn't want to wait, but I wanted to make sure I was there to greet him. And since I wasn't there this morning, he's starting tomorrow. So the kids are really excited to get started there.
Well, I think that's probably your highest testimonial. But later in the program, we're going to be having a parent come and talk about her and her son's experience with Hillcrest. But now, I would like for us to talk about specifically what the learning differences are. You've mentioned them, but how do they play out in the classroom?
Well, it seems like when you have 20 to 25 students in a classroom, sometimes these problems or differences don't even get diagnosed. So when they come to a smaller school, the teachers are more able to notice what the learning differences are and to meet the needs of the students. So if the students have dyslexia, the teachers are equipped with training to help the students, whether You know, sometimes they have dysgraphia. Maybe there's a disconnect between their brain and being able to actually put something down on paper. So we have computers that they can use, or we have hands-on activities that we can use, or we can give oral tests instead of written. So whatever the students need to show what their strengths are in learning and delivering the content, we will meet their needs there. So,
and sometimes it's auto tutorial where they
exactly
listen to their lesson and then talk back.
Right. And then with ADHD, I think just having fewer distractions in the classroom and having, you know, fewer students and a teacher who can meet the needs. Right. So it's a perfect place to be able to meet the needs of students in the smaller classrooms.
Well, one of the things that I know from my educational experience is that the ADHD student is sometimes the one that has the most problem fitting in. And so that takes sometimes some real special attention. And that's where the small classroom really comes in.
Right, that's really important because in a larger classroom, those students may not be focused. The teacher might not have the time to notice what the students need. And another thing I like to mention about Hillcrest is we don't do the standardized testing, so the teachers don't feel pressured to turn the page.
Teach by the test.
Right. They can stop and work with something that might be going on in the classroom with some students. Maybe there's a conflict, and they can stop right there and then and fix the conflict so that the students are happy and they can move on with the learning. And they don't feel the pressure of just go, 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 you know, we can do this. They teach to mastery, and they teach at every student's level of mastery.
And that takes, I really think it takes a special missionary zeal to get involved with a whole room full of special learning differences students, because you have to really love them. And that's one of the things that you said, just pervade your campus, is just a real love for each other. The kids bond so easily, so effortlessly.
Well, last year when we had our SACS accreditation, the parents and the students filled out a survey, and we're really proud of some of the statements that the students and the parents made about how the students feel so comfortable raising their hand, because the teachers already know they have a question, and they feel like
and nobody's going to laugh at them.
Right, and it's a nurturing atmosphere, and they know the teachers love them and they care about them and they want them to succeed, and just, you know, everybody feels comfortable in learning at their own pace. They're all on their own plan.
We're going to have to take another break. We'll be back in just a minute and continue this conversation with Wenda Christopher at Hillcrest School.
Stay tuned. West Texas View will be right back.